Here with another flashlight review. This is of the 4Sevens Preon2. Cool little pocket carry everyday light. I have the gold version here. It does come in some other colors. Also comes in red, blue, titanium, stealth black, which is all black, and a black with titanium tips. The titanium version is basically a polished silver looking type thing, and for some reason they charge $20 extra for it. I'm not sure what advantages you get. The basic versions retail for $45, give or take a couple dollars on either side depending on where you find it. And that titanium version is $65, so you pay a bit of a premium for, I'm not sure what you get for it. I know someone that has it. He decided to splurge on it and he can't tell the difference and isn't sure what he got for his extra money. For me, it would just get all fingerprinted, whereas the finish on this one does not show any fingerprints at all. So this is the Preon2. It's about 5 inches long, 5.05 inches by just over half an inch, 0.55 inches there. They also have the Preon1, which is about 2 inches shorter, just over 3 inches. Same thickness, same construction otherwise. The Preon2 is a double AAA battery light, and the Preon1 is a single AAA battery light. Preon1 or the Preon2 comes with this tail click here that I'll show, and the Preon1 initially comes with basically you just twist the head here to make it go on and off. But you can alternatively swap out the flat tail cap on the Preon1 for this clicky tail cap, and so you can make the Preon1 into kind of a mini Preon2. I actually have a red Preon1 on order, and I'll get you a review of that eventually when it comes in, kind of compare the two. So looking forward to that. Has the weight without the 2 included, very nice, 2 included AAA batteries. It's 0.8 ounces. With the 2 batteries, it's 1.6 ounces. It's very nice of them to include those batteries because a lot of people don't these days. The Preon1 is just a little bit lighter, I think 0.6 ounces without the light, or without the batteries rather. Construction of this, let me zoom out a little bit. Starting at the back here, has this clicky tail button, and you can take this tail cap off in 2 different ways. You can take just the very back of the cap off and take that piece off, and then that will expose sort of the rubber tail cap, rubber button for turning it on. Put that back on there, and then that screws back on there. You can also take the whole tail cap off, and there's a rubber O-ring there, help with the weather sealing, IPX8. Pocket clip will move around, you can take it off if you're so inclined. And then once you screw it back on, that pocket clip will move around, but once you tighten that tail cap down, that pocket clip stays in place, which is nice. Speaking of the pocket clip, it does have a hole for a lanyard. It goes along a nice smooth surface, so it's not going to cause any wear to your pocket, and it's not too tight, probably just right about the right amount of tightness. The finish on this light, well, the body, we'll do the body first. A little bit narrow here through the body and does flare out just a little bit through the tip. Now the finish on here, it's made of anodized aluminum, and what David Chow from 4Sevens has said is that they tried to make that sort of a rubberized finish, and I don't know quite how to describe it, but that seems kind of accurate. You know, it is aluminum, but holding it in your hand, it feels just a little bit grippy, and it's probably not going to fall out. So the finish on it is nice. I don't really know how other to describe it. I guess a rubberized aluminum type feel is about as close as you can get. Up in the front here, the head. This they just recently came out with a new version. This version is actually the R5 version. They just came out with an S2 version, and the lumens output has actually been downgraded. This is a 160 version, 160 lumen version, and the newer version is 120. And they say that actually with that S2, now that they've gotten on board with the ANSI standards, they are actually about 7% brighter than this. So I'm going to do all the numbers for this review based on the newer version, since that's what people will probably be getting. The S2 version. It does have a textured reflector and the clear glass lens there. The head also comes off. Another O-ring there up front. Two AA batteries. Speaking of the batteries, one thing I noticed with this is that the batteries rattle a little bit. initially inside. So what I did was I took them, wrapped a little bit of just clear packaging tape right around the batteries, held them together, wrapped the packaging tape around, and now they don't rattle at all. It's one of the things that was really the only really big annoyance I had with the light when I first got it, was that when I would shake it, the batteries would rattle. But it's a very simple fix. I've heard of other people talk about putting cardboard in there, but it's such a narrow fit that I'm not sure how you'd get that in there without, you'd never get it back out. But that little taping job on the batteries fixed all the problems. So that's it for the construction. The beam, this has a couple different brightness settings, and the way you get to them is with this tail cap. Basically you click it on, and then you can half press between the settings, or alternatively you can turn it all the way off and go between the settings. Now what 4Sevens has done is they've recognized, it has 3 brightness levels, 3 lumens, which it'll do for 23 hours, 26 lumens it'll do for 6 hours, and 120 lumens for 0.8 hours. And then there's a couple strobe modes. And what 4Sevens has realized is that a lot of people are not going to use those modes. I'm not sure I'll ever use them other than just showing other people how cool my flashlight is and all the cool things it can do compared to their little cheapo light. And so what 4Sevens has done is it's kind of hidden those. They're easy to get to, but you don't have to cycle through them every time you cycle through the light. And the way you get to them, turn one of these lights off, is basically you focus a little bit, turn it on, and you just go low, medium, high twice, and then it goes into the strobe. So low, medium, high, and then it goes into the strobe. It will then go into an SOS mode. There's that. And then there's 2 beacon modes. A high beacon, which will just flash on the bright setting there, and then a low beacon, which goes high, low, high, low, high, low. And an interesting feature about this, that low beacon, after it goes 5 times, it will then go into a kind of a protracted beacon setting where it will go every 10 seconds. So it'll go on for about a second every 10 seconds. And what that's good for is, if you want to mark something, if you want to mark your campground, you want to mark someone, you want to mark something, and I think it goes for 40 hours on that setting. So kind of a nice feature to have. Again, I'm not sure I'll ever use it, but it's handy that they've kind of put that in there. So there you can see that beacon, and then you can just, low, half press or full press, and to go back into that 3 lumen mode. Now, one of the nice things about this light with the beam is it's a little bit more diffuse. I'll turn the lights off all the way. It's a bit of a diffuse kind of light there compared to this Phoenix PD20, and the Preon is 3 lumens. This PD20 is 9 lumens. And what I found is 9 lumens is really kind of too bright for most simple tasks that you're going to need the light for. 3 lumens is very nice for getting around the house in the dark, if you need to read menus, simple things like that. And it has a little bit more diffuse beam, whereas you can see this PD20, I don't know if you can tell it there, but the beam is a lot more focused. So, a little bit better there with this light, one of the nice things about it. You can use this for a couple different things, a lot of different things. It's great everyday carry light. I use it, one of the reasons I got it is that I use it working in the hospital. It's a great medical light compared to the little cheapo ones that the drug reps give you. And it looks a lot more cool than those little cheap plastic ones that you just throw out after the battery dies. The 3 lumens is very nice for shining in people's eyes, and the 26 lumens is nice for throats. 120 is good for throats as well, I suppose, although they don't like it in their eye. But the 3 lumens is great for that. I've tried that Phoenix at 9 lumens, and it just is a little too bright for that. So it's a great medical light, and just a great light for everyday carry in general. As a backup light, if you're going to carry a bigger light, maybe a tactical light, and you want something as a backup light for whatever reason, great light, kind of like carrying a backup gun. Great for that. My only issue, I don't know if issue is really the word here, is that because of the length of it, when I put this in my pocket, if I put it in like my jeans pocket, I found that when I sit down, the tightness of the fabric will often kind of push it out of my pocket, and it'll be sticking out just a little bit. And then if I'm wearing some looser pants, like say some 511 pants, it'll come out of the pocket a little bit, and then I'll very frequently find it just down in my pocket because I think it will come out and then gravity will force it back down into the pocket and it'll just sit in my pocket. I haven't lost it yet, obviously, since I still have it, but several times I do find it kind of half out of my pocket or all the way down in my pocket just because I think that it's long enough that when you sit down, the fabric kind of bunches up and pushes it out some, which is one of the reasons I'm getting that Preon2. Because for using it at the hospital, it's the 60 lumens of the Preon2 should be plenty bright. I think it has the same low output of 2 or 3 lumens on the Preon2. So that's my only, again, not really complaint about the light itself, just because it's a little bit longer. Depending on how you carry it, you might have that problem. You could use this, you know, put it in like a pen pocket. The 511 tactical polo shirts have those pen pockets, and I did a review of those separately. This will not fit in those pockets. It's a little bit too big here on the head, but putting it in your shirt pocket, not bad. Anywhere else you want to carry it, it's not bad. But you know, overall, for an everyday carry light, for a backup light, for the small size of this, and for the brightness, for the output, 120 lumens for this little small light, 1.6 ounces, 2 AA batteries, sorry, 2 AAA batteries. It's just a great light. I get another, well, I am getting another. I'm getting the Preon2. So, highly recommend it. If you're looking for a great pen light, take a look at it. Thanks for watching.